quick video update here. I got a bunch of these turnips out of a little bit of dirt. Let's say about maybe 5 inches of dirt there in this old dismantled storage tote, whatever you want to call it, storage box, and it's cracked, and so water leaks through, which means it has drainage. And it was great for these. In fact, almost all of the turnips that came out of this container, which, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably roughly about 15 turnips or more came out of this. By or more, I mean there's some small ones that came out of here too. But the most of them were similar to this size, but smaller. These are like, especially this guy right here, that's the biggest one. So, yeah, that's pretty much a baseball right there. So, anyways, garden's moving along. My wife talked to the neighbors about the chickens, and because boom, 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 a little bit right there, and a little bit right here recently too, and of course that right there and that right there. Recent damage. And this is going to be some rainbow carrots. These guys are white icicled radishes. These are my French breakfast, which are now getting kind of destroyed. Don't like that too much. These and those guys over there are more turnips, and I'm going to regrow more turnips, by the way. In fact, most of these are, with the exception of these potato plants, obviously. The rest of these pots, with the exception of the onions over there, the rest of these are turnips. So I'm looking forward to it. Each of these small guys will, I mean, even there's multiple sprouts, I'm going to thin those out later, and each one of those will produce one of these. At least that's the plan. If all goes well, if things don't happen like this did, this actually had, let's see, center 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, roughly about 9 sprouts in there. And as you can see, there's only really 2 sprouts from one location. Actually, maybe one of the one right here. So, anyways, neighbor's putting his chickens in the cage. As he can catch them, he has a lot of chickens. So, I appreciate that. If he keeps his word, I'll bring some food over. So, because I like being a good neighbor. And yeah, mulch piles coming along. We have, let's see, it actually looks more like possibly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and maybe 10 over there. Potato plants coming out of here. So I'm remulching everything as much as I can. And I mean, it's dirt's covering most of the household food waste that's been out here. And I know I need to trim the dirt more, and I will do more of that once I've transplanted these potatoes into, well, now I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pots that are big enough to contain them, even though in reality I should be putting them in these beds. And I may end up actually doing so, but we'll see. I could put them back in here. I'm probably gonna move all of the cilantro out of bed number 1 and put it over where the chicken's damaged, bed number 8. And I am in the process of thinning out. I still got some bunching onions in here. I'm gonna kind of transplant some of them and move them closer together, and then plant something else back there or here, and then transplant them there. Bed number 3, I'm thinning out the German Giants because some of them are getting woody. Radishes are good, but not when they're woody. And behind this big tall cilantro, we have a whole bunch of radishes that have grown up really nicely since the rain has come. And that's pretty awesome. So I need to thin those out, and I am thinning them out. But like right now. So yeah, definitely want to keep the food going. We've been eating less of the salad, unfortunately, and finally, for the first time, we had a bowl of salad go bad. I'm not really down with that, so I got to be careful. We've got tons of lettuce to the point where it's actually starting to almost go to seed, like right here. That one's going to seed. Our arugula. Now, here's the deal with this. I can still eat all these leaves, but it's growing flowers now, so I'll end up with some seeds, it looks like, which is cool. I can regrow arugula either in the same spot or somewhere else, but I might grow actually half of this amount, which literally is like from right here to here and then the middle. So we're talking maybe about 4 square feet at the most of arugula, because once you cut it, by the time I cut it to the middle and I'm starting to eat over here, this is already growing back. And that's when it was really short. Then it started getting tall. By the time I started chipping away at this was already growing back. And so, just word of advice, if you're growing arugula, don't grow too much of it unless you're using it in salad every night, and you have a lot of people who like salad. Because then you end up with this. Now it's a giant weedy looking bush. I know its value. I personally know the value of this plant. But that doesn't change the fact that I'm kind of the one person that eats the most salad in our household of, if you count our baby, we have 3 adults and 3 children in the house. So that kind of, if I'm the one main guy growing and producing this and eating, my wife loves the salad, my mom loves the salad, the kids don't eat it. Except my baby, he likes to chew on it a little bit, but then he feeds it back to me. So I want to be as productive as possible. I'm not going to grow any more lettuce for a while. I got this stuff which I'm growing. We had a bunch of weeds in here. I really thought because of where I planted the cucumbers that it was cucumber plants growing, but they're more of a vine, and these were basically wild turnips, or wild radishes, or Indian radishes, kind of like what we have growing back there that needs to be mowed down or pulled up. I gotta mow the yard. I blew the engine on this our tractor, unfortunately. Thought there was enough oil, there wasn't. Just replaced the mandrel. That broke when I ran over a rock. Anyway, over there somewhere. Before that looked as thinned out as it is now. So, anyways, I got to get a push mower and got to save up some money for a few $100 for a new motor on that guy. And my wife's got to pick up these things. Yeah, she cleans things and puts them out to dry and then forgets about them. So, anyways, yeah, these are white icicles as well. In case I didn't mention that in my last garden video. But yeah, the garden has quite a bit growing, but I want to grow more. I mean, it's insane that I want to grow so much, but when I'm eating most of it, it seems. But I've got all that soil, and I've got all this space over here, and I still got all that space over there. And if I do succession growing, or succession planting, as I've discussed before, it will make it easier to get all of what I need. Like, I'm not going to have all those beets just, like sitting for such a long time, although they're still plenty good. Like, those are great. So Detroit Dark Red is a good seed from Home Depot, burpees. Same deal with these, with those. I got a line growing in here and a line growing back there. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'll be growing once I move that cilantro over there, but our Brussels sprout plants are growing nicely. Not all of what I planted have grown. I actually planted about 8 of them, and looks like we got about 6 of them. That's still nice, considering I put them in a small space. So, yeah, you can see sprouting here. We do have the Ford Hook chard coming up, not in every space, as you can see, line, 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 line. and there's a bunch of empty space over there, and there's little empty spots over here. So hopefully it'll produce more. Over here, before this started folding over, and I got to cut this up back after I'm done with the video, but you can see there's a couple lines of, well, hopefully you can kind of see it. I could barely see it now, actually, but last time I did a video, I think you can see it better. Yeah, I got to trim the heck out of this thing. It's overgrown. It's falling over. But anyways, yeah, we got some crops growing, and I'm gonna replant more turnips in this thing once I remulch it, because that's really, for some reason, the most ideal container out of all the spaces. Now we'll see how well they do over here in boxes 5 and 6. And of course I got some over again in box 7, but they're kind of stunted. Plus they were attacked by the chickens before. But if they don't, they're doing better now. I think part of it was the season, part of it was maybe rain or lack of rain. But yeah, in any case, I got way too much cilantro. We're not eating it enough, and it's starting to grow thick stalks. It's I guess they call that bolting. Even these, which are the youngest ones, I think, they're actually they're getting thick stalks. And I had to dig in between all these too, because I had to get all those wild turnips, or wild radishes rather, I think they were. And I had a bunch of radishes, a bunch of regular radishes, little cherry bell types. I can't remember the specific variety name, but that's what they were. And yeah, I got those out when I cleaned this out, and then I planted some sweet basil, Italian sweet basil, and what was the other thing I planted? Not carrots, but they look like yellow carrots. I can't remember the name, but it'll come to me. But that's what we have growing right here, provided that no more of these chickens come back. So we'll see how lucky we are. Anyways, I think that's enough for today. I'm gonna hopefully tomorrow, after regular Sunday activities are completed, I'm gonna do a little bit more work in this garden, especially in some of these containers, especially that container, because I really want to plant more stuff. It's already been probably maybe 2 weeks at the most, week and a half maybe, since I planted the turnip. Yeah, the white globe purple top turnips, and they're so good. Although I notice when they get a little bit big, they sometimes end up tasting a little bit, the center becomes a little more, what's the right word? Less flavorful, less solid. It becomes a little more hollow, a little more like styrofoamy, not in its flavor, but in its consistency. Not in terms of being tough, but rather just the fact that it's more foamy almost. Maybe that's the right word. It becomes a little more foamy in the middle. So we'll see how these ones taste. My mom wants to cook them. I love eating these things raw. I'm gonna keep maybe one of them to eat raw, but these are the last 3 we have. I might just let her have her way. I might grab some of those beets and do the same, because I know how much she absolutely loves cooking stuff, or at least talking about cooking these things. So I want to kind of let her have her way, and you know, we can all have a great appreciation for the garden. Oh yeah, and it looks like it does look like, and I'm not too familiar with how Brussels sprouts are. I'm not sure if these are Brussels sprouts themselves or if these are seeds. If this plant still be bolted and the rest of them are still doing their normal thing. Yeah, here we go. Got to thin these out too. I put a lot of random things in box number 2 and also in box number 1 this time around. And so I love it. I love what I'm growing. I want to produce more. And I'm so glad that box 4 is now producing such an excessive amount of vegetation, even if a lot of it's weeds, because that box had really bad soil, it seemed like. I mean, I had a bunch of potato plants in there and they went bad. And that has not happened, like either in the pots, in this guy, or in boxes 1 and 2. The potatoes grew really well. But in box 4, it did not. And but that's the thing, is that sometimes soil has to get remulched. Sometimes you just need more rain. And of course, we've also had leaves that have fallen off this oak tree, and I think that's added mulch. The thing about mulch, and this is really important, I didn't think this early on as much, is that you have to mix broken twigs, you have to mix in leaves, dead leaves, living leaves, all kinds of stuff, and just really let it become more like this. Like all these little things here, that's okay to have in your soil when you plant this stuff to begin with. You don't actually want to have it just be as solid as this looks. That's actually not as solid as it looks, but you don't want it to actually be kind of like condensed muddy dirt, almost like how some of this looks, even though there's a bunch of worms in it. You know, like right there. Actually got a whole bunch of them right there, but it becomes more condensed as the rain comes, so that's why you got to break it down and move it around. But also because you don't want to let gases and other things build up into the soil where the plants are. You want all this stuff to get chopped up. You want all of it to be eaten by worms, to rot, and then you got to flip it over. And then you mix more stuff in it, or you make separate piles. Me, I only have space really for 1 or 2 piles, and those 2 piles have already become 1 at this point, and it's making some pretty good dirt. So by the time I have more boxes here, we're gonna have some really excellent dirt. And that little pile that used to be a much higher pile, like it looked like it was up to here almost, a lot of sticks, a lot of leaves, a lot of just random stuff from back when there was no trampoline here. It was literally, this was a space where I mowed everything. I would pull all the different leaves and sticks and stuff. I'd pull it right here and I would mow it, and it would get chopped up and re-chopped up and re-chopped up, and that's what got mixed in with some of that dirt, and it has done the trick. I don't have a wood chipper or a mulch chipper or whatever, so I've had to do it this. It's kind of a maybe a backwoodsy kind of way. I don't know. Do the best I can with what I have, and as a result, that has been some really good dirt. In fact, any of these potted plants that I use that dirt in have turned out really nicely. So that's probably why I've always had success growing things in this container. Part of it also is that there's holes in the bottom of it, and when the sun hits the side of it, it creates warmth. And some plants like warmth, especially potatoes, it seems. So that's why when I was sprouting potatoes in here from either potato slices or from seeds, tubers, I would usually, like 9 times out of 10 or more, I would get success. So anyways, guys, this has been a longer video than I planned. I'm going to upload this now, and I hope you guys are having a great day, or have had a great Saturday. Keep farming, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.